What is up, everyone? It is Nick, the sophisticated art speculator. I have been quite absent for I think it's been 2 months since I made a video, way too long. Had to do a lot of traveling for work, but I'm back at it, ready to try to get videos out like once a week. So, hoping that you like the content that's going to be coming out, including this video today. So much has happened in the past 2 months with crypto and NFTs and everything. So, for me personally, I sold most of my portfolio on Nifty Gateway. It sucked to do. I didn't want to do it, but I saw the writing on the wall and needed to lock into some profit so that I could continue to play in the metaverse, continue to play with NFTs. I hope to get back there someday. There's definitely some positive signs happening right now. Um, but right now, focusing a lot of my attention on some other cool, exciting NFT projects out there, specifically Bored Ape Yacht Club and Meebits, two different collectibles that are really, taking the NFT ecosystem by storm right now. The crypto markets also made a pretty big correction, but looks like we're somewhat stabilizing. Um, and what I personally think, and I was on the NFT culture happy hour the other day and shared my thoughts, but I think that NFTs do best when crypto is ranging, when there's not a ton of profit to be made on the coins. When the coins are ranging, then people look for speculation elsewhere. NFTs are such a big spot for speculation. So look when NFTs and Nifty Gateway really took off in February of last year. Ethereum had a huge run up, and then it was ranging for a couple of months, and then NFTs had a big correction when it took off like a rocket. So I'm hoping we're going into a similar situation, but still really bullish on the NFT space. So today, I want to walk you through the Meebits and the Bored Ape Yacht Club launch, why I'm spending so much attention on them, what are the use cases, the value propositions for both, and then how do I personally find value in these ecosystems. So both of these projects launched about a month ago. Bored Ape Yacht Club was about a week prior. Meebits really took the attention because it had a massive launch. They gave away 10,000 Meebits to free to all CryptoPunk and Autoglyph owners. Larva Labs is the company behind Meebits. They're the company behind CryptoPunks, behind Autoglyph. So big NFT team, lots of excitement. They gave away 10,000 to free to keep their existing, clients happy, and then they sold 10,000 at 2.5 Ethereum per to mint. They did a reverse Dutch auction, so in theory, these could have minted at 1 Ethereum, but there was so much demand, so much people hopping in that they all got minted in pretty much a day. Unfortunately, since then, Meebits, the floor, the price has dropped off. The hype has died down a little bit, and also Ethereum dropped from 4,200 down to 2,500 where it's at right now. So that was a little bit of a double whammy. So there's some bag holders, a little bit of frustration with the Meebit community. I'm still bullish because I think it's a great team, Larva Labs. They run so much of the NFT space. I think the project's going to succeed. I like the aesthetic style. I'm also very big on Sandbox, and the Meebit avatars and like the 3D renderings are going to fit perfectly into applications like Sandbox. So that gets me really excited. But you can't deny the hype of the Bored Ape Yacht Club, especially over this past weekend. So this is Memorial Day weekend. Yesterday, they sold like 610 in a day. Insane. Over 500 Ethereum in one day. It was the number one project yesterday. It beat Meebits. It beat CryptoPunks. It beat everything. And the momentum is still going. I mean, look at all of these sales coming through. It's absolutely bonkers. So I have exposure to both. I have 4 Meebits. There's my favorite one right there. I got 4 Meebits, and I have 9 Bored Ape Yacht Club. I went ham on Bored Ape Yacht Club yesterday, just feeling the momentum. Just dove in, tried to find value, tried to find Meebits, or sorry, apes that were undervalued, and my plan there, same as what I did with Meebits, is make some buys, try to flip some for profit, then cover my costs, and then hold the rest for the long term. So I did that successfully with Meebits. I had some pretty good sales. So I bought this Meebit for 1.5 Ethereum and then sold for 7. And then I bought this Meebit for about 3.5 Ethereum and sold it for 6.8, so made like 3.2 there. So between the two, I made like 8.2 Ethereum profit, and that's pretty much the what I paid for the rest of the Meebits that I am currently holding. Um, and I'm going to try to do the same approach on Bored Ape Yacht Club. It's always, if you can get yourself to where you're free rolling, where you don't have a ton of money locked in, it really takes the pressure off. If Meebits go to zero, I think I'm down $3,000. I don't think they're going to go to zero. So like essentially, if I sold all my Meebits right now, I'd probably walk away with 15K, 20K profit or something like that. But since my exposure is like zero or only negative $3,000, I'm not constantly looking at these every day, worrying about buying them. But Meebits has the team backing them, big launch. But then Bored Ape Yacht Club is just has so much steam behind it right now. And one of the big reasons is they have a super strong community. Just go on their Discord, just feel the energy. And then they have a very active development team. So at first it looked like they're just trying to kind of compete with CryptoPunks. And this is going to be your avatar on Twitter. This is going to be your personality. And you have this strong community that you can network with. Well, and that's why I liked Meebits a little better out of the gate, because Meebits had the instant like metaverse like application, like they're going to be able to go into Sandbox, etc. But then recently, Bored Ape Yacht Club's dev team comes out with these 3D renderings showing that they're thinking, hey, no, we want apes to be able to go into the metaverse too, and that really multiplied the value proposition and the use case for me. They had a merch drop also like 2 days ago. You had to have an ape in your wallet to buy it. And then I think that merch drop sold out in like 10 minutes. So just a ton of hype behind this community right now. So, I free rolled my Meebits, trying to flip some of my apes right now and then free roll those. How do let's move on to what you guys, would probably really like to hear is how do I go through these ecosystems, and how do I try to find value? How do I try to make money? So first of all, I think it's important that we look at the different approaches. There's a couple of different approaches that people can take, okay? So one is to go purely on aesthetics, right? So you're buying one of these collectibles because you think it looks really good. And if you think it looks really good, then probably other people think it looks really good. And so if the project appreciates in value, that's a good investment, right? We all can agree with that. On the other side of the spectrum, there are people who really care about rarity. They say, hey, I want the Meebit, or I want the ape that's super rare, that has, rare characteristics. So, let's look right here. I picked this one up, not just for the cool factor, but the rarity factor, right? Only 0.8% of apes have the pimp coat. Only 1% have the Prussian helmet, right? So I got two traits here that are super rare. Not super rare, but definitely the pimp coat is pretty rare. This is semi-rare, but them together, it's pretty rare. So I went for a rarity play there. This right here, this Meebit, this is more of an aesthetic play. There's nothing super rare about it, but it just looks good. He's got the white shoes, the 6 jersey with the white, the camo pants, the hair looks good, right? You can see someone being like, hey, I want this as my metaverse character, right? So that has aesthetic value. So those are the two ways that people very often approach these collectibles, and usually people lean to one or the other. I like to kind of play both. And an important thing to consider as well is where are you searching for your value? Are you searching at the floor or near the floor, or are you moving up a little bit, right? And that depends on your budget. That depends on your philosophy. I think that there's more risk, more reward if you search above the floor, and then there's less risk but a little bit less reward if you search around the floor, unless you find something that has really, really good value. So what I like to do is I like to look around the floor, see if there's any value, but usually that gets picked through first. And then you kind of have to move up like 20 or 30% above the floor. Because the floor is really only going to move up with the floor, right? So the floor could appreciate from, I don't know, Apes are at like 0.7 right now. So if the whole project doubles in value, you're at 1.4. But I paid 2 Ethereum for this. This may triple in value if the project doubles, because as the project grows, an increasing amount of people want to come in and they want to have that unique avatar. So they may not necessarily look to the floor, they may look above it. So we'll have to see how it all plays out, but you can see I have a mixture of them all. So like, let's just dive in and look at some characteristics and like look at my thought process. So my favorite Meebit is this guy right here. So this is not a pure play rarity play. In terms of rarity, this guy's up there. He's definitely top 50%, but he's like not like a top 1% rarity or anything like that. But what he's got aesthetics. So the big thing you want to be looking at is under properties on OpenSea. So you can see all of the different properties that they have, and then the rarities of those different properties. And so an important thing to consider is also the amount of traits that they have. So some people like, right now, apes that only have 4 traits, which is very few, is super popular because there's only like 125 of them out there. So they have a premium, even though it's a little counterintuitive, because you're like, oh, it only has 4 traits, right? So like usually either very few traits or a lot of traits can sometimes have some value, and then the rarity of the traits, and then how they have aesthetics. So we can see right here, this is a 12 trait Meebits. I think like 17 is the highest, so it's above average, but it's not, crazy high. But what he definitely has is aesthetics, right? So we have the gold chain and the gold earring, 4% and 11%. Not super rare, but they go together, right? The combination of them is pretty rare. And then we have blue camo pants. That's actually, or shirt rather, that's actually pretty rare. That's 0.6%. And then blue camo pants, that's 5%. But combined together, that's really rare. There's only probably 10 Meebits that have the blue camo top and bottom, right? And then have the stylish black slippers, got the mustache and the blonde hair. Blonde hair is pretty rare. Mustache, pretty rare, right? So when you combine all of those together, this guy has a good amount of aesthetics, or sorry, a good amount of rarity, but a great aesthetic feel to me, right? Like if you're walking through the metaverse, this guy's going to stand out, right? With the gold earring, the gold necklace, the camo, the slippers, just looks stylish, even though he's not the most rare. So I paid 3.2 Ethereum for him. We'll see how that play ends up over time, but I personally like him a lot. And if you like something, that is usually a good sign. Overpaid for this guy. This is a slightly above floor Meebit, in my opinion. Scooped up this guy because I liked just the aesthetic feel. Got the purple shoes, got the purple overcoat. Black with the white like skull, and then black with the white bandana. Currently trying to sell them right now at 1.5. I think that's a little bit low, but just trying to get some liquidity. And if I don't get a buy soon, maybe I'll pull them off. And then we got, last but not least, this guy. Not super rare either, but got the aesthetic quality. I bought him for 1, trying to sell for 1.85. And I think that could work out pretty well. And once again, you can look at the properties. Jersey numbers, sort of rare. Classic jersey number, or classic jersey shirt, sort of rare. But once again, going for an aesthetic play here. And yeah, let's take a look over at Bored Ape Yacht Club. So let's just see right now what is selling, what is flying through the shelves. So all these things down here is 0.7, 0.75, 0.8, 0.77. These are close to the floor buys versus like right here, 1.76. Like, let's see what this person was thinking of when they bought this, right? So ever since the merch drop, the brim, anything that has Bored Ape Yacht Club on it, the hats or the shirts, have been fetching a premium. So that's one of the reasons why this is going for 1.76. And then it has 3 things of pretty good rarity. You got the shirt, you got the holographic eyes, and you got the brim. They're all 2% rarities, right? And what you can do on OpenSea is you actually can click through. So we can say, okay, Flipped brim hat, like let's see what these things are going for, low to high. So we see there's, 2 for 1 Ethereum, 1 for 1.1, and then a couple for 1.2, and then boom, it's up to 1.5, right? Here's another one with the holographic in the hat, right? But maybe not as cool of a shirt, and that's going for 1.5. So you'd think that that guy got, pretty good value. Like here's another decent rare one, right? It's got the grill and the hat. It has an offer for 1 right now, so this definitely has some interest. This one's really cool, right? Has like the grill, the hat, and like the VC look down here. And so that's what I like to do when I'm like searching for value is, I'll look at the aesthetics, but then I'll also look at like, okay, what's the floor prices for some of these, comparables. So like, let's take a look at this, go back to this buy right here. So one of the reasons, like, why did I pay 1.9 when that guy only paid, 1.7 for his, and I bought mine yesterday when everything was cheaper? Well, pimp coats are pretty rare, right? 0.8%. You click on that, you sort price low to high, right? And the floor now is 2. So I bought under the floor. And these ones, these ones right here aren't very rare or don't have as good aesthetics as mine, right? So what I bought, if I wanted to sell it right now, is probably worth, 3.5. And will that sell right away? No. But if you look at all of these, right? So these are for 2, and 3, really floor, you get rid of them and it's 3.5. So out to 4. So out of these right here, 3.5 to 4, how does mine fit in, right? Has the rare Prussian helmet as well. This probably goes for 3.5. So in 24 hours, potentially made a 1.5 Ethereum profit. But that one may be tough to get rid of because, as I said earlier, these things appreciate in value. The ones that aren't at the floor usually appreciate in value a little bit quicker. Then I made some other buys. Some of them may be great, some of them maybe not. But the thing is that I got these all at the floor. So like I got this for 0.8 and this one for 0.8. So I like this one just from an aesthetic play. It has 2 1%, so it's pretty decent rarity, but it's like all gray. So I think it's got a good aesthetic play to it. And then I got it for 1.8. If we go over now, or sorry, 0.8. If we go over now and we search low to high, and we see, what's going, the floor is all super basic, right? Like no real aesthetic vibes at all. So none of these I would, want instead of the one that I picked up. And look, we're already at 0.8. So like worst case, my thing's probably going to hold up in value. And I think it's still way more stylish than a lot of these much nicer rarity. So I'm trying to sell it for 2. If I really wanted to get rid of it, I could probably get rid of it for, 1.2 right now, but that's still a 150% premium. And here's the problem with like just straight buying the floor. Like you can see, all of these are, 0.2, 0.25. Like this is only going to move up as the project moves up. So if you want to sell these for 1 Ethereum, these are the worst on the market. You're going to have to wait for all of this other stuff to get picked through. And it's going to take a while for it to get up to 1 Ethereum. Versus if we go and we look at the stuff that's worth like 1 Ethereum, let's see if we can find some value. So like tie-dye shirt, right? That could have some cool rarity to it. So tie-dye shirt is a 1%, right? So I can get a 1%. Bowler hat is a 3% rarity, right? So that's, not bad potentially. And it's 0.95. And then let's go look at tie-dye and let's look at the floor for tie-dye. So there it is right there, right? So you can say, okay, I can get this for 0.95. It's second from the floor tie-dye. I would definitely say it's probably cooler than the I-folded one, right? This is probably worth 1.25, right? You see these ones at 1.25. I'd say it's probably worth there. And look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sales, and it's at 1.8. Um, the floor for tie-dye will be 1.8, right? So if you get it for 0.9 and you hold it for a couple of weeks and you get, 6 or 7 people come through and buy tie-dyes, you've doubled your money. Now, once again, this is not advice. This is just how I approach things, and don't gamble money you can't afford to lose. Once again, I'm free rolling my Nifty Gateway profits. So if I lose it all, I walk away with spending 4 months just having fun, doing cool things with NFTs. So don't max out your credit cards doing this stuff. But so yeah, this may be a good value buy, right? We can go back and we can keep hunting through the floor. So some people have seemed to, like these like McDonald's or movie theater outfit wearing guys. Not me personally, but like, look, we've already scrolled a little bit and we're at the 1 Ethereum floor. So you can see actually, this project can move up pretty quickly. So like this one right here draws my attention a little bit at 0.99. So let's look at the rarity. It has 2% stunt jacket, 2% X eyes, 1% mouth, 3% commie hat. So that, could be pretty rare. And then if you look at the board pipe, I think that's a cool aesthetic look. So it's second from the floor again, right? And look at here, if there's only 4 cells, it's up to 1.5 for the pipe. And 5 or 6 sales, and you're up to 2 Ethereum for the pipe. And that's what I like to look for. I like to look for these like aesthetics that I think people may like. Another trick you can do is you can just hit the buy now button here, and you can see how many are for sale. So like there's 37 for sale. That's a decent amount. But 5 sales, and boom, you're above 2 Ethereum. So that's how I like to look for things, and there's a combination with this guy, of aesthetic. So we could go over and we could say, okay, how's the stunt jacket doing on average? So it's second from the floor on stunt jackets as well. Now stunt jackets take a little bit longer to get to 1.5 Ethereum. They're definitely not as rare, but you still sell through 10 of them and you're at 1.75. So this, with the combination, it's got the stunt jacket, which is a little bit rare, board pipe, fairly rare, X-eyes, fairly rare. You combo that all out, and I think it's a potential good buy. Now I have one of these World War I pilot helmets. I really like them because look, if you click buy now, there's only 14 for sale. So this has a potential to really, shoot up in price. So look, there's 2 for sale for 1.2, then it's up to 1.5. 5 of these sell, 5 of these helmets sell, and we're already at 2, right? So this is for me a super much rarer than it looks like. It means that a lot of these people that are doing the pilot helms, they're not even listing for sale. So people must really like them as their avatar. So I would be very tempted to pick up one of these 2 right here, the 1 or the 1.2, because you're just very close to being able to flip that for 2 Ethereum, especially if people kind of jump onto the idea and are like, wow, these pilot helmets are really cool or really rare. So we can keep combing through the floor. This one is one of the cheaper, probably, Bored Ape Yacht Club hats, and it's got this cool jacket. It's got not bad aesthetics at all, right? So you could say 0.9 and say, okay, cool, let's check out the brim hats. So it's the floor right now. This has a little bit more work to get through 1.5, right? You got to sell through 10 to get past 1.5 up to 1.9, but that's still not bad, right? And you could see people, that want 1 or multiple of these. They want to have some, some sort of gear that reps the Bored Ape Yacht Club. I could see that as being a very real situation. So let's get back over to 1 Ethereum. I'll look at a couple more, and then we can look at the activity feed and see if we can unpack the thought process of some other people making buys. And you see this like scrolling that I'm doing, this is what other people are going to do too. So if they don't see anything that's, you know, super rare or exciting with your Meebit, it's going to take a while potentially for it to sell. So this one's a pretty cool one. I like the noise fur personally. I think it's pretty cool. So let's see the floor there. Yeah, so like this one would seem like a steal to me, right? There's 5 purchases to get to 1.8 on the noise, and this is 0.9. And it's also got like the stuntman helmet, which is fairly rare. So I think this one is better than this one, right? And this is 1.2. So this is probably like right away, you could probably flip it for like 1.4 and maybe get a sell. And if you hold it for a while, it could easily be like a 2 Ethereum trade if things keep going up in price. Another stuntman helmet there. This looks like an angry mom. You can also see how many other people like things. That can be botted or manipulated, but also could be a sign, you know, if other people like stuff, then it could potentially be a good buy. So let's keep scrolling a little bit more. Let's try to find one more that looks like some good value that has been skipped over. But see, I mean, the fact that I'm scrolling through much, and I have a pretty good understanding of this stuff, so the fact that I'm not seeing any value down here, or not that much, should give you a pretty clear idea of like how quick this stuff is getting picked through. And yeah, so like this one maybe right with the bubble gum, and it has 19 likes on it. It's going for 1.1. So let's see, the rarity of the board bubblegum is like 1%, but then let's look at the floor. So it's a little bit up from the floor. It's definitely better than these two, and then you're up to 1.6, right? So I'd be tempted to, you know, buy this at 1.1. If you're trying to quick flip it, it's probably 1.6. But I would probably buy that and want to hold on to it for a while because it could be a cool attribute, and you could get up to 2 Ethereum or more value for it. So let's quickly look at some of mine, and then we'll look at the feed again. So like here's an example. I got this for 1 Ethereum, but it has the World War II helmet, which feels pretty rare to me, and then it's got this leather punk jacket. So I don't know. It has like some weird like leather and, you know, leather combo kind of aesthetic to it. We'll see if other people, you know, think the same. But let's see, like leather punk is like the floor is already 1, sells through 5, and it's up to like 1.5. So that's fairly popular. But it's really the World War II helmet that would make this appreciating value. I really like this guy. I went for like this straight reminds me of I'm blanking on the cartoon, but it's like a Nickelodeon cartoon where it's his family and they like explore the jungle, and this looks exactly like one of the characters in it. But I mean, come on, this is a vibe, right? This guy looks like he's on a safari, right? So you got board pipe 1%, you got safari 2%, and then you got like this cool shirt Guayabera that's 2%. But like the aesthetics here is what makes this like worth more than anything else, right? Like this should be, I'm selling it for 2 just because I'm trying to, once again, flip some stuff back in free roll, but I may have to delist this because I think this is probably worth like, you know, 3 or more eventually. But we can look at some of the, you know, so once again, the pipes are at like very quickly, you sell through 5 and it's at 1.9, but like look at all of the pipe guys, right? Like this one right here, that's mine. It's got 10 likes, nothing else comes close. This one actually has 18. But that's, you know, 1.6. That one's pretty cool too. But yeah, I mean, you even scroll down here, get down to 3. Like, I think mine is the best out of any of these pipes below 3 personally. I think it's just like such a cool look. So that's the kind of stuff that I'm looking for. I'm looking for like either rarity or like a combination of rarity and aesthetics. You know, this guy right here, this is one of the first ones I bought. I got him for 0.67. He's got the stuntman helmet and the jacket. He's not crazy cool, but I think he's worth maybe like 1.2, 1.3 right now. So I'd still, you know, double my money pretty quick. This guy's funny just because he's got like He reminds me of Will Ferrell in is it Wedding Crashers? Yeah, Wedding Crashers. You know, he's got the smoking jacket vest, and then he's got the pretty rare flipped brim. So I paid 1.1 for this, but like let's look at smoking jacket floor. You know, so it's got a couple to get to one, but like none of these are too cool to me, except for this one. I like the metal background potentially. But yeah, you can see alone this isn't very rare, but to get to one that like has an APAT, you're up to 2 Ethereum. So we'll see if that's a good buy. That may have not been one of my best pickups, but sometimes you just buy it because you like it. This one was also I'd say a mediocre pickup from me. It does have a good combo of rarities though. It's got the 1% tweed suit, which I kind of like, the 2% noise skin, and then the 4% fez hat. I got it for 1.3, but I don't know. It's got a pretty unique, cool vibe to it. Maybe worth 2 Ethereum sometime soon. But there's still a lot of value to pick through and find. So let's quickly look at some of the recent sales. Like, look, it's still going. Pretty pretty wild. There's been a couple more sales since we started this video. So this is 1.5 Ethereum. So it's got the Grin multicolor. Then it has the 3D glasses, and then it has the bone t-shirt, all fairly rare. Not a bad pickup. And then let's look at the floor. You got it for 1.5, and look, the floor on those is 1.5. So I like that guy's move. Good pickup, right? So what did this person probably think? They probably looked at the floor for the multicolored teeth, saw that it was 1.5, but then saw that this has the 3D glasses on top. In the combination of the two, probably pushes it up to being worth, I'd say 2 Ethereum. So this guy or gal made a good value buy. Here's another one that just came through for 1 Ethereum. So why did they go for this? Bored Ape Yacht Club hat, and then it's got like the black on black kind of matching 2% tuxedos tee. And then let's look at the floor on the hats. This person got it for 1. Oh yeah, yeah. What a steal! That was a great buy. So that person saw, okay, the floor here for these hats is 1.5. And they just bought it. We gotta go over here. They just bought it for 1. So could be a very quick flip from 1 to 1.5 if they want to, or they can hold on to it. Let's see when Pranksy listed this. Yeah, a month ago. Yeah, so I mean that's been sitting there. It's not even like Pranksy just listed that. That was sitting there as value for a while. So great buy by JSword, getting what's probably worth 1.5 for 1. Here's did we just cover this? Yeah, the tie-dye shirt for 0.87. Pretty good floor buy right there. And we can scroll through. Let's look at like a really big buy and see what they're going through, and then we can wrap up this video. Trying to keep these videos like 30 minutes going forward. I saw this one this morning. I thought this was a real cool aesthetic buy. We'll take a look at that. Let's find any really big ones. We'll take a look at the laser eyes. Cool. So look at this. This is what I would consider good aesthetics. You got the brown, brown, and brown. Brown hat, brown skin, or brown fur, and a rare Grin diamond grill. So got this for 1.8. Let's see what the diamond grills are going for these days. Yeah, so the floor is 1.7, right? And the one that we just looked at is much cooler than this one. In 3 buys, the floor is at 3. So for 1.8, I think that's a pretty strong pickup. So that's cool to see. And then we got the laser eyes. So laser eyes are 0.69%. Other than that, this guy's not super rare, but that went for 2.22. So let's look at laser eyes and see the lowest price, 2.5. So that person came in. What did they do? They floor bought the laser eyes. Probably going to end up being a pretty strong buy. 5 of these sell, and it's up to 4.5 Ethereum. Got it for 2.2. It is a floor laser eye, right? So like the floor has to move up. So if these, 3 sold 2.5, 2.53, then that one, can probably get listed for 2.5 or 3 Ethereum and retake the floor. But anyways, hope you guys got some value in this video. I tried to give you a quick overview of Meebits and Bored Ape Yacht Club, what I like about both of them, and then how I go through these projects and try to look for value to potentially, make some money, make some moolah, and then also be able to hold on for a piece of the project for the long haul. So I've already done that for Meebits. I'm about 3,000 invested, and I have 4 Meebits due to flipping. Definitely want to hold on to at least 2. If not 3, to see where the project goes long term. And then I'm heavily into the Bored Ape Yacht Club right now. A lot of momentum behind it. So I got 9 of those, and we'll see where I go from there. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed this video. Feel free to reach out to me on Discord or in the YouTube comments if you have any questions. And I'm going to try to get another one of these out a week from now. Later.